Hello everyone, my name is Tashinga Manunure, and I'm part of a team of student developers working on a solution to address course registration challenges faced by both students and faculty officers at NUST, Namibia. We developed a student course registration system to simplify the streamlined process of registering for courses. The problem we tackled is, for every semester, or rather for every beginning of the semester, students find themselves not knowing which courses to register for that semester, and hence in turn it leads to confusion for them and workload for the faculty officer to configure courses for every student. So our solution provides a centralized platform for students to register, view, and manage their course registrations, while on the other hand, faculty officers can manage courses and oversee registrations. So this in turn reduces confusion on the students, and then it improves the overall efficiency of the registration process. So moving on to the overview of our system architecture consists of a front-end interface and a back-end service. So the front-end interface is the one which you are showcasing here, and then the back-end interface using Ballerina, which is the service itself. This is just a glimpse of the code for the Ballerina service. And last but not least, for the database, we use MongoDB, and we had two collections, one for storing course data and the students' data. So let's jump in to the live demo. So first things first, we run the Ballerina service. This is the back end. Okay, perfect. Our Ballerina service is running. We move on to the application. So we are going to start showcasing the faculty officer journey, since the students can only register for courses enlisted by the faculty officer. So the faculty officer can log in. This is the login process. They just enter their username, password, then they get logged on. So for our system, for the hackathon, we specifically designed it for our faculty officer, Ms. Semi, from the Faculty of Computing and Informatics at NUST. So this is the landing dashboard for the faculty officer, and the faculty officer can add a course, list available courses or courses the faculty officer has added, register a student for a course, and then the faculty officer can also view a list of registered students for a specific course. The faculty officer can also deregister a student for a specific course, and the faculty officer can also list the available courses and the students registered to those courses. So without further ado, we move on to adding a course. So the faculty officer can add a course, and they are required to enter a course ID, a course name, and the strand and the semester number for that specific semester. So let's add this course here. So this is the part where we've tried to integrate to make it now show the courses based on a semester, so students know, okay, if I'm in semester 4, I'm supposed to register for a semester 4 course. So when the faculty officer also uploads the courses, then the faculty officer is supposed to write the course number, or rather the semester number for that course. Okay, let's add the course. Okay, course added successfully. So from here, it gets stored in the DB, which is MongoDB. Then under courses collection, the course is supposed to appear. So let's add one or two more courses. Okay, so this one is for distributed systems, the software development course, and it's also taken in semester 4. And then we edit, check our DB, and then we see it's reflecting on the DB. So after adding the courses, the faculty officer can also view the courses he or she has added to the system. So if they click on fetch courses, it will show all the courses. So the faculty officer can also filter the courses by semester number or all semesters. So if she wants to filter for semester 4 courses, she clicks here. So let's just add another course which is not from semester 4. Okay, so it's a semester 1 course. Okay, it's added. We check our DB, we refresh. See, now we have the document here, and then we fetch again the courses. It's showing all 3 courses. Then let's filter by semester 4 courses. Okay, all semesters, and then semester 4. Then it finally filters by semester, then or filter by semester 1. Then it shows the semester 1 course only. So the next step is the faculty officer registering a student. So a student can register themselves, or the faculty officer can also register the student for the course. So let's register a student. We enter the details of the student and the course ID we want to register the student for. Then we register the student, and then it shows the student has been registered successfully. We go back to our database, and then we refresh our students collection. Then you see we have stored the data under the students collection for the registered student. Yes, and let's register the same student as well for other courses or for the rest of the courses on the system. Okay, student is registered. Then one more. Okay, let's fetch the courses to see what courses are there. Okay, then there is distributed systems. Distributed systems. Okay, the student is registered for 2 courses, which is MCI and distributed systems. So let's register them for programming 1. Okay, we go to our DB to show that the student is registered for 3 courses. Okay, perfect. So let's register another student, a different one this time. Then maybe for 2 courses only for the sake of time. Okay, let's see which course the student was registered for. Okay, MCI. Let's register them for distributed systems and applications. Okay, perfect. So the faculty officer can also do a quick check on the students registered for a specific course. So let's take, for instance, the faculty officer wants to check students under distributed systems. He or she can just enter the course code, and then they fetch for the registered students, as we can see here. And let's change the course code. Okay, both students are registered. Okay, a faculty officer can also deregister a student based on student ID and the course they want to deregister the student from. So let's take these details. Let's deregister the student from mathematics or computing and informatics. Then say successfully registered. So if we filter as well again here by the same course we deregistered the student from, their details are not supposed to appear here. Let's get the registered students. Okay, there we go. So it shows the student was successfully deregistered. Okay. So for our next task, we move on to the page where the faculty officer can view all the courses and all the students registered for the courses. So here as well on the page, the faculty officer can filter by the name of the course or the course code. So that, let's say for instance, the courses are a lot, And then to avoid the time used scrolling down, they can easily filter here, and then the details for that course will appear here, and as well the students which are registered for the course. And the faculty officer can as well deregister the students from this end. So if we deregister the student here, okay, it's gonna prompt them. Okay, perfect. Now for that same course, distributed systems, if we go and get the registered students for distributed systems, one should appear since we have deregistered another one. Okay, perfect, it works. So this is the quick walkthrough for the faculty officer side. Now we move on to the students side. As all the students are supposed to authenticate, so we open the student login, or from the home page rather. The students can pick their link. Okay, they log on by student ID, then their full name and a password. Okay, so the student can now fetch all the courses which were uploaded by the faculty officer, and then from here, this is where now the solution comes in handy. So as you can see here, we can see there's a semester 4 course. There are two semester 4 courses and semester 1 courses. So if a student is in semester 4, they can also filter here as well for semester 4 courses alone, and then the student now knows these are the correct programs or courses they are supposed to register for that specific semester, and not have a mix-up of taking a semester 1 course, let's take for instance, and semester 4 courses as well. Now that will lead now to overload for the faculty officer to be going around and try to deregister students from wrongly registered courses. So this student here, to be specific, can register for a course as well here. So if you go back to the faculty officer side, you can see the programming 1 course is no registered student. So what we should do here, let's register the student for the programming 1 course, then they register, then we go back to the faculty officer side and we refresh, and then we can see here now it has been updated. There's a newly registered student. So let's take for instance a student registered for a wrong course by mistake. Let's take for instance the student wanted to register for semester 4 courses alone, but then they registered for this one, which is a semester 1 course. They can as well deregister from that course, but now they are not registered here. So let's just register the student. Okay, as we go back to the faculty officer side, we refresh, then we can see there are 2 students. So let's say for instance this is the student which made a mistake of registering for this course. They can easily cancel for the course registration on their side. So by inputting the course code, then they cancel registration, and then done. If we go back to the faculty officer side, you can see the student is no longer appearing since there were 2 students here. It has been updated. So the student can also view a list of courses they are registered for. So here they are only registered for programming 1, so let's just register for one more for demonstration sake. So distributed systems, register, and mathematics for computing and informatics, and we register. Then the courses appear on this side, and so it's updated. At the same time, on the faculty officer side, we now have 2 students with distributed systems, 2 students for mathematics and computing for informatics. So that same student, we want to deregister, let's say, all the courses. Okay, this is the student. They want to deregister for all of them. Deregister here from here as well. And we deregister them here as well. And deregister here them from here. You deregister them here from here as well. Then if you go to the faculty officer side, the list has been updated. The student is no longer registered for the courses. So that's the brief live demo for our system. And now we are going to showcase the API integration highlights. So allow me to show you a few key parts of our Ballerina code. So as I mentioned in the beginning, we used MongoDB for the database side, and we also use the course records and the student records for in-store memory for us to be able to post as well to the DB. So one of the other challenges we faced was when we're trying to connect the UI to the backend Ballerina. We didn't enable cross-origin resource sharing globally for this service. So we overcame that, and then we used this for the connection of the API to the front end. And then this is our basic service, and then our resource functions for creating a course, storing the DB, and then for getting a list of courses, we use the stream to counter. Now let's take for instance there are a large number of data sets in the DB, and this will in turn improve efficiency in terms of retrieving the data. Then this is just snippets of our functions: registering a student, and then we're registering a student for a specific course, and then we deregister a student here as well with using this function. And then this one is to get registered courses under a student. Then that's basically our Ballerina service. And now let's move on to the front end integration of the application. So on the JavaScript script tags of our front end pages, the backend, or rather the Ballerina service, runs on port 8080. So we have to connect to it, and then as well we have to mention the name of the service, and we connect as well to the functions within the service itself. So in a nutshell, the front end communicates with the Ballerina backend via RESTful APIs. So when a student registered or deregisters from a course, the front end sends HTTP requests to the backend, which then later on updates now the MongoDB database and returns the updated data to be displayed. Okay, so now we move on to the challenges we faced. So one of the major challenges we faced was handling data consistency between the front end and back end during registration and deregistration processes. So meaning at times the front end wouldn't reflect the updated course list due to delayed API responses. So how did we solve this? We solved this by optimizing our API calls to ensure faster responses and providing real-time feedback on the front end, by implementing also error handling on both the client and the server side. So in turn, it helped us to ensure smooth communication between the components. So for future enhancements, moving on forward, we would like to implement additional features such as an email notification. So let's take, for instance, a student registers for a course or deregisters for a course. They're supposed to receive an email alert to let them know of the occurrence of deregistration or registration. And then on the faculty officers dashboard, we would like to give more control to the faculty officers by allowing them to generate reports and manage course capacities as well. So in conclusion, our student course registration system simplifies course registration and management for both student and faculty officers. By doing so, it reduces the workload and it improves accuracy for students when registering for the courses. So we believe our solution addresses the key pain points of the students, making the entire process more efficient and user-friendly. So once again, thank you for your time and consideration. We look forward to any questions or feedback you might have. Ciao.